Hello.
Oh, well, hello.
Episode 9, 10.
Oh, I like
Candy
that.
Podcast. 9. 1, 2, tell me who are you? The Bears.
Oh.
3, 4, tell me who's got the score? The Bears. 5, 6, tell me who's got the cake? The Bears.
Bears.
7, 8, tell me who's
I picked up on that one quick.
9, 10, tell me who's gonna win? The Bears.
Let me guess. The
That's from the Brady Bunch. When
Oh,
Marsha
not the
was
Chicago
trying
Bears?
out. No.
Oh.
Her
Well, they should
team,
really adapt that because that's a good one.
Fillmore Junior High, that was their mascot. Okay.
That's a
Brain
good piece of
Candy
little
Podcast
trivia. The more you know.
Brain Candy / Brady Bunch. Okay. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing so good. I'm in a great mood.
Prove it.
I've
know what that means.
officially got out my summer clothes. You know, I didn't know this. Living in California, you just have one set of clothes all year round.
Yeah.
Then you move to a cold weather place, and I mean, for closet room alone, you know, jackets take a lot of fucking space.
Yeah.
So
You gotta rotate.
I got to rotate, and I did, and it's like you have a whole new wardrobe again. It's like shopping in your own closet. Like, oh, this is so great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Every summer, the fabric is peeled away, and it's as if I'm a different person. I'm still coming down from the high.
Oh,
That
yeah, me
was our New York extravaganza
Yeah.
with Tyler and Timmy and Sarah and her girlfriend and me.
And Suze.
It was so fun.
The 3 best friends that anyone could have. 3 best friends that anyone could have. I was singing that all weekend. 'Cause
Okay,
that's what it felt like.
I have to tell the audience that Sarah has this girlfriend, right? And I hadn't met her.
Yeah.
And I was not optimistic because Sarah
Based on the
has
track record.
terrible taste in men.
Yeah.
Like the worst taste in men.
The worst.
Personality wise. And I thought, oh God, this is, please, please, please let this be bearable. Oh, thank God.
Thank God.
I feel like I'm walking on sunshine for real because, I mean, yes, the bar was low. Yes. But even if it weren't, even if it were a high bar, your girlfriend surpassed anything I could have ever hoped for.
I agree.
I mean it.
Oh, I'm so glad. Well, your approval means the world to me. My mom did say I have terrible taste in men, but great taste in women. And I said, well, maybe
true.
that's
Now I
because
know.
it's actually what I'm hungry for.
Right. Exactly. Well,
Yep, that's good.
I think your mom or your aunt said to you, I feel the same way, which is that part of what makes her so great is that you are totally yourself around her.
Yes.
And I really like you. And I did not like you around these fucking fools
Right.
that
I
you
know,
were with.
Because I'm pretending to be straight.
Yeah, and you're trying to appease them all the time and make them happy, and they never were, and didn't get why you were a treasure and all that. So you weren't your best self and all that. But anyway, she's great. She's so fun. She's easy to be with. She's considerate.
Yes.
Interesting. Totally gets the joke of life.
I had good
And-
banter with you. That was my favorite to witness. It was so fun watching.
It was a dream. And if you weren't there, if I'm ever alone with her, we were alone while you had to do some work.
Yeah.
And it was so great then too. You don't have to be there. There doesn't need to be a buffer.
I love that. That makes me. I mean, I could die happy. That's all. That your approval means so much, and so you know who I really am. You know the authentic me. So me being able to be that in all spaces now feels. That's why I'm walking on sunshine too.
Yeah, that's what the dream is for everyone.
Right. That's what we
Where
all
you
want,
can be
right?
loved for who you actually are.
Right.
Okay. Also, hilarious the listeners need to know, we investigated each other's sacral dimples.
We did.
Not only that, but the girlfriend did too. Like she didn't show us whether she had one. I hear she does not. I'm taking her word for it. But like she's
was just like
acted like it wasn't even weird.
Well, I think she tolerates me and my weirdness, and so and you and I have a level of comfort. And I was saying, like, I would never talk to her about this kind of stuff, but you are like my sister, so it's like, I need you to look at this. It's for medical purposes.
Well, yeah, it's clinical for sure.
It's clinical. So
yeah. Well, okay,
jury's out.
Okay, let me put a pin in that, because the preface to that is at Tyler and Timmy's wedding. As you may have seen if you follow me on Instagram, I brought an outfit for dancing.
Yes.
Because I wanted it to, reflect a dancing vibe.
Yeah.
And also,
such
like,
a cute outfit.
I needed to be limber. I needed to be... I take wedding dancing very seriously.
Yes.
So when it was time to like truly cut it up, I was like, I will be right back. And I put that jumpsuit on. It was like velour, or is it velvet? I think it was velvet. And okay, I am ready to roll. Mm-hmm. And feeling good. We were dancing. We were being hilarious.
So fun.
It was, how long would you say I was out there? 45 minutes? An hour, yes.
Yeah,
like
an hour.
More than a minute.
Yes.
But after an hour, something started to go wrong.
Oh, yeah. I'd say so.
I started to just feel like someone had put itching powder into the jumpsuit.
And as the witness, I'm watching her not only start scratching like, some crazy meth addict, but also your face was starting to get puffy and in
something
weird spots,
in my mouth.
and your
it was like
words were not coming out clear.
Right behind my lip, I developed this gigantic like swelling. Clearly, it was an allergic reaction.
Yes,
but as a result, I was like, Clara, I think I need some Benadryl. Something's wrong here. And I really didn't know if it was the outfit or if it was something I had eaten or what the hell was happening. But I knew every inch of my body was itchy.
And as we've discussed on here, that is the worst feeling ever.
The worst. And it was like, I just wanted to crawl out of my skin. So we had to cut short the part that is like my favorite, which was tragic. No. But thankfully I had some Benadryl and it was fine. However, the reason I'm telling all that is because even the next day when I didn't itch anymore, on both of my butt cheeks was like still like some sort of rash.
Oh,
red
that's
rash.
Definitely from what you were wearing, because that's the part that was rubbing the most when you were sitting down.
Yeah, it was like grinding, baby.
100%.
It was twerking. Oh. I was not twerking, but I wish I had been. When I showed my sacral dimple to you and your girlfriend, there was also the rash on my buns. I mean, I was just a mess. I have the ruptured tits. I have the meat curtain, sloppity floppity. And now I have a sacral dimple and a butt rash. I mean, I truly...
You're vulnerable. You were vulnerable. And we don't judge.
What a mess. That's right. They didn't. They just had a good
safe
look.
Space.
So I think everybody should know Sarah's dimple is far more subtle than mine.
But we can agree that there is one there.
There is one. There is a dimple.
So you and I do. So
we're sacral sisters.
Yes, we are.
But mine is more of a thing.
When we have our live event, should we offer a special discount for people who have sacral dimples?
That they have to prove it.
No, it's an honor. It's an honesty policy thing.
I want to see it. If someone is willing to show me their dimp, I will give them a discount. That's my policy. I don't think it's anything to be ashamed of.
No, it's not.
Something to be proud of.
And
it's real cute.
Also, here's the important thing. If you just Google this, you will get the worst of the worst photos that are not in any way what you and I have.
That's right. Maybe
there
I don't.
There are no photos that accurately.
I feel like I should take a picture and just show everybody and be like, here's what I'm talking about.
People wouldn't even know what you're talking about, like what it is. They'll feel like, oh, that's nothing.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get pretty close to even know what's going on.
Yeah. So
listen, everybody, it's cute as a button.
It really is.
It's nothing to be worried about.
No, it's fine. We're born that way, Suze.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. First up on the agenda, there's a documentary called It All Begins with a Song.
Oh, well, that sounds right up our alley.
Yes. And, since I have to write a one-hit wonder still, I'm very interested in songwriting. But this documentary was really fun to watch, and it was fascinating. It was focused on Nashville and country music, but I mean, it didn't really matter what the genre was, because it was just sort of like trying to describe what it's like to be a songwriter, especially one who doesn't perform the songs.
Oh yeah, because this is a lot of the music that gets made. Yeah. I would say maybe the majority once they get to a certain level of fame, and there's a lot of songwriting assistance that goes on, I think. Maybe
they chose Nashville and country music because a lot of pop music now is all that like Dr. Luke shit, where it's like, the Swedish people that like use math to make a song. Yeah.
Like the algorithm.
And that's fine. Those are bangers. I mean, I Saw the Sign. It's one of my all-time faves, and that's sort of what started it all. But this is more like the organic, old-timey style. And, people like Dolly Parton and her original songwriting partner. Yeah. And I just...
folk music-y kind of stuff, yeah.
Where you just sort of sit there and try to hammer something out and keep, like, poking around until something becomes a song, that kind. And so I thought it was interesting for our purposes, because you talk a lot about that thing that people talk about in the creative arts, especially that thing where you don't even know what's happening. It's like you're a conduit for something. It just sort of comes through you and out of you, and you're just like, I don't know, I just sat there and then the song was created in 10 minutes. Yeah. And like how mysterious that is.
It's really cool, isn't it? And all of the greatest artists talk about something like that. It really is almost like a phenomenon.
I remember when I watched the documentary about the song American Pie, Don McLean's one-hit wonder, Bye Bye, that one. And that's how he describes it, that he just like it. He didn't set out to create this sort of historical piece. It just wrote itself. That's what they all say. Yeah. And I just want to know what you think that is. I know we talk about the zone and all that.
So, Michelangelo would describe it as a sculptor as well. He said that he wasn't sculpting the piece, he was freeing it from the marble.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. And I wonder if when you're at that maybe like kind of like genius level of artistry, which, any of us have the ability to be, really, maybe it feels so good to be in that flow state. Yeah, flow. That's how we're interpreting it. In the same way, like when people have a religious experience and they'll say, like, this message was from God, that maybe they're in a place of such, like
union
contentment
with the world.
And union with the world, that it feels like you're like taking a drink from a fountain rather than realizing you are the water that comes out of the fountain or something like that.
Like it feels like it just happened to you, but really it didn't.
You are the thing.
You did it.
Yeah, you are Yeah. And then maybe, you know what, for some reason, what pops in my head is that feeling that astronauts, real astronauts, get when they go to space and they look back, maybe Katy Perry got this, that wow, the world is so small and we are all just interconnected. And that when you're really experiencing something, like creating something wonderful or making amazing art or experiencing some like amazing view of the world, it's like humbling in a way. And that their answers kind of imply this like humility, like it's not them, it's this sense of self is kind of lost. It almost feels like, you know, what people who take mushrooms kind of feel more like,
I understand,
you know, less
what you're
ego.
saying.
Like it's like the ego is gone a little.
I understand that concept, but those are two different things because one is passive and one is active. And so like, I think transcendence, that passive state, right? Where like you're just experiencing like a feeling. That is something I think a lot of people, most people feel at some point at a concert or church or wherever. But like to actually create an original something from that perhaps is like,
because don't you
magic.
think people do feel okay when listening to those things or viewing those things, feel like they're experiencing that feeling of transcendence because they're like taking it all in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's passive.
Yeah. I wonder if there's something about being also the creator of that allows you to tap in, like you are the creator of something that then allows for other people to have that feeling of transcendence. So, I don't know, you get a little bit of it in the creation process with almost like this understanding of, you know, because like what is time? I don't know. Maybe in some weird, I don't know, parallel universe, there's an awareness of how this will make other people feel when viewing it, but not even a conscious one.
I think there's something to what you said about like the loss of ego.
Yeah, that's kind of more what I mean. I don't mean that it's like the same as the astronaut thing, but it just has the same like
foundation
vibey feeling to me, you know, of that loss of ego. And the same feeling is like doing mushrooms. It feels the same as that. I don't know what that is, but it's cool to explore and think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a really fun documentary to watch. And there's like most of the people featured are men because most songwriters are men, unfortunately. However, the most poignant part of the film was these two female songwriters. This one was describing how she had heard a story on NPR about a fallen soldier, and his dad was on NPR talking about what that was like and, you know, his grief. And I think he was asked, like, how do you how can you stay close to the son you lost? And he said, well, sometimes I drive his truck and like, it's terrible with gas, but like, I feel close to him when I drive it around. And so this songwriter then started like thinking about it and then had to write a song, you know, because it was like, she was so moved by that. And then they went and like met with the dad. Oh, I was sobbing. It was so special. It was beautiful.
See, that's the kind of stuff that I think that feeling, that whatever that is, you cannot create with AI writing a song for you. That is the real human.
That's the real deal.
Magic, you know?
Yes.
That can't
is the
get
good
that
stuff.
Feeling.
Yeah, there's a depth there. And you kind of can't get it from just sitting in a room and trying to come up with something, which is a fine way to write a song.
Right.
But you get a whole different depth of understanding when it's about like either your own pain or something that you're relating to.
I don't know. I can't say. Maybe some people feel emotionally moved by Ace of Base, but Ace of Base has never made me feel as moved in the way Joni Mitchell does. Like, I'm like gutted after I really listen to the words of her songs. I could cry right now.
Right. But I want to dance more for Ace of Base, but you're right.
Right.
In terms of the spirit.
Right. Yeah, the spirit.
Right. So anyway, that was great. It's fascinating to learn about how the process of creative stuff and the flow and BBB. It was really, really something. Anyway, okay. An unhoused person, a person who is unhoused, won the lottery in California, 1 million buckaroos.
Hell yeah.
And there is a story in the LA Times about it. And he, and, by all accounts, is just a gem of a guy. And he has been without a home for quite some time. And he, frequents the place where he bought it, like whatever convenience store. And often the store owner will, even ask him to, watch the front cash register while he has to do something. This is a guy in the neighborhood people know is a really decent, lovely person who was just down on his luck or whatever. Okay, great. Number one, that guy should not be playing the lottery. I do not care. I'm happy that he won. I'm happy that he won. And that's real nice, and I hope he's super happy. But this is why the lottery makes me mad. It is exploitative. Do you know how many homeless, unhoused people are playing that damn thing every day, just like this guy, and are not winning $1 million?
Yeah, but I would argue, how much are they spending a day? And if they were to save that, I don't know if that would do enough to make a difference.
Sarah, they don't have food, man. They're panhandling.
But if somebody gives you some lunch, their sandwich or a meal or something, and then you get $5.
It's not about the guy as much as it is about the way that lotteries.
Oh, absolutely. Who they're
exploitative.
100%. And they do not put the Lotto Players Club in the nice neighborhoods.
What's that?
Oh, not too far from me is the Colorado Lotto Players Club, where I guess you go hang out in some lounge.
What?
And it's where they have they play the lottery. They have those little, the one with the bouncy ball that lights up. I don't know what it's called.
I do not know.
It's on a screen, and there's a ball and the numbers. I'm doing a very bad job of describing this.
Do you just mean where the ball blows up and that's the number?
No.
Oh.
It's a digital thing. And
this is fucked up.
The numbers pop up and they're inside little balls.
This is not good.
And yeah, I know. I'll take a picture of it next time.
Do it.
It's right next to my dry cleaner.
Yeah.
And a Dollar
I don't know
Tree.
about it because they know I'm not going to play, so they don't put it in my neighborhood.
Right.
That's bonky. Okay.
Yeah, I would agree. It's definitely taking advantage of.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, I would agree with that. We've definitely, talked about that on here too.
Yes.
And seen the studies.
I don't think he should be playing, but I do all kinds of things I shouldn't be doing. So I get it.
Right.
But I'm saying it's exploitative. Now, second problem we have is I don't know how long this guy was unhoused, but he clearly does not know how much things cost in California, because they asked him what he's going to do with his $1 million. Here's what he says he's going to do. He's going to get a car. That makes sense. Probably, it's affordable little something. Then he said he's going to get a little house. Well, bad news, mister.
I know.
The worst dump in LA, and he... you got to pay taxes on that shit.
I know.
It's not an actual cool mill.
This is the Band-Aid solution. What do they call it? They call it like a first, I can't remember the name for it. There's like a technical term for this in like my society and health class, whatever. That was like, if you give somebody just money, that is not providing them the sustainable future. You need to give somebody skills and actual resources, or the ability to access those resources to then be able to...
That's funny, because I've read things that were the opposite of that. That like small, like say $1,000 a month, like to like poor folks, like they, because people are always like, they're going to spend it on drugs or whatever. And then they just like buy groceries.
Well, yeah, I think at a certain moment, but there has to be
more like
education and those kind of things that we have
combination.
Yes. Like, of course, financial support, but you can't just
a way out.
Say, here's this. All right, you're going to be everything's going to be all better. Yeah, there needs to be more. Like a teach a man to fish, sort of.
Well, here's what he said. He said he's not going to waste this second chance. He's going to buy a car, a small house, and then the rest of the money that he thinks he has, he's going to invest or find a business. Like find a business to invest. Oh. Well, I kind of see what went wrong in the first place.
I mean, maybe
I don't think he's great with money.
There's a place, right? Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It's like maybe he needs, most importantly, like a financial advisor or case manager.
I think we should. I hope there's a documentary that follows up on him in 10 years. I don't think it's going to be the best story.
I don't either. I think people will try to take advantage of that, as people do with the lottery. I think it's smart when people remain anonymous.
Yeah.
I would.
Absolutely. But there will be signs.
Yeah,
right. Like the meme. Okay. So best wishes to that guy. Congrats to him. I hope it really does work out.
I mean, maybe, and you know what? I don't want to make assumptions because... I mean, yes, he is unrealistic about the housing costs in
that's all I'm saying.
California, for sure.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying.
When I volunteered at a shelter, and the majority of the people there were people who were working, who had family, who were just like one paycheck away from not being able to pay their rent, and had all of the skills, and were, if they had money, would have been able to get out of the situation or pay someone down or kind of start a life. So, I don't know I don't want to assume that he didn't have any of those skills to be able to do those things, but he's a little
I'm going to assume
delusional about the money.
Yeah, if you think you're going to do all that with $1 million before tax, I'm sorry. Somebody needs to tell this fella.
Right.
But I'm happy for him all the same.
Yes.
Okay. Next up on my agenda is,
what?
Dudes are racing their sperm.
Oh my gosh, I saw this.
This so is mad.
Crazy. We can't even get research on women's health studies.
Right, Sarah.
But men are racing their sperm for sport.
Like proper at the Palladium in Hollywood.
What is happening?
Okay, here's what's happening. Let me tell you. Like, bros are so weird. Okay, these two university students develop this company where men can give their sperm and then they go head to head in a competition.
Oh my God, this is taking dick measuring to a whole new level. Go ahead. Sorry.
And it's an actual thing. Like you go there. Oh. Like the Kentucky Derby.
What? They got it up on like the big screen?
Yes. The microscope viewpoint.
Okay.
Right. And the racetrack.
What is the racetrack? God.
Is designed to mimic a uterus.
Oh, gross.
Gross. 3 syllables of that word. Grossa.
Do you think this is the kind of guy who would... Okay, first of all, what kind of guy is entering? Who's entering this?
They say university. So, like, I guess younger. You know, where you're at peak performing.
I get it, but, like, I'm talking personality type. What does this guy do for a major?
Humanities.
Humanities.
No, I don't know. It's frat guys, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And you know what? If they were just like, yeah, we're jackasses, I'd be like, yeah, you are. It's funny. But they're not. They're acting like they say they are interested in making male fertility like more talked about. Go fuck yourself.
Male fertility. We know
all
the
good.
Answers.
We
good.
Figured all that out.
Yeah. And actually what we're learning, you probably wouldn't be too happy about, because we're learning that the problems that women experience, especially in the first few, like early stages of pregnancy, have more to do with the quality of the male sperm. And the egg it's not, we have this idea, this is such like a patriarchal view of fertilization, where we say it's the fastest swimmer that gets to the egg. No, it's not. The egg decides who she's going to let in. So it doesn't matter how fucking fast your little swimmers are, dude. If she's like, nah, I'm good.
You suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make it, if you want to mimic the uterus, mimic it right.
Right.
Make that egg at the end being like, fuck you.
No thanks.
Fuck you.
No thanks. Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm. And like the worst part about it, I don't even know if it's the worst. One of the worst parts about it is that they've already gotten like over $1 million in investing. And do you know how many like female entrepreneurs?
My God.
Like actual proper scientist entrepreneur women cannot get funding for their startups.
Right.
And they're like, hey, let's raise sperm.
I hate this so much. I hate this. Because of that exact reason. You're not going to fund all of this, and you're going to fund this. I'm sorry. Show me the benefits.
Mm-hmm. And they were acting like speed was...
of course.
The criterion with which we should measure health of the person.
Right.
And that's the dumbest thing I ever did here. So that's stupid. I'll tell you what's not stupid, Sarah.
What?
Cozy Earth.
Oh, not stupid at all.
It's not stupid at all.
Hey, Mother's Day is coming up, and I feel like this is a really good Mother's Day gift, because chances are your mom is experiencing hot flashes.
Yes. And
so she needs some cozy pajamas that keep her cool.
Cozy Earth pajamas, Cozy Earth sheets. These are really high quality products, and they are ultra soft, but also, like Sarah said, moisture wicking, keep you cool, monitor or regulate your temp.
It's like the older I get, the more I care about the materials that are touching my body. Like I get really extra sensitive, especially when I'm trying to rest at night, and it's like, nothing can be itchy, so these pass the test. They are the softest and just keep getting softer.
They have 100-night sleep trial, so you can see for yourself. And if you're like, these are the worst sheets, then send them right on back. They have a 10-year warranty on all bedding products. Come on. You don't need all that, but it's nice to know that they stand by their product. And luxury shouldn't be out of reach. Use code BRAINCANDY for 40% off best-selling sheets, pajamas, and more. Trust us. You won't regret it. Yeah. CozyEarth.com, code BRAINCANDY. Okay. Moving on. What is on my agenda? I mean, scientists are stoked out of their minds about this video that they got of narwhals playing with their food, with their tusks.
Well, that's cute.
I mean, it's cute.
Are they really playing with it, or is this one of those things where we're anthropomorphizing animals again?
I know. I thought of that too. So it's drone footage, and they were able to do it.
We've become cynical when we host this podcast for so long and hear about all the stories where we're like, actually, no. Okay,
I will say, like, the study was very, I would say they weren't jumping to conclusions. They said that it looked like what we would call play. Like, they were hesitant to be like, this is play.
Animals do that. But I do love that.
They used drone footage, and they were up in like Norway or somewhere where it's can go 24 hours of light.
Yeah, yeah.
So they were able to see more than they normally would because narwhals are very shy, and they don't want you watching them, and so we don't know a lot about what they have going on. However, usually with their tusks, they are like spearfishing. They are pretty ruthless.
I mean, I would imagine.
But in this footage, which you can watch, it is very playful in the sense that when they would get close, they would pull back. They would go slower so as not to harm the fish. These were
they're
Arctic
like taunting their fish.
Well, that's not how they worded it. They said that they were like
turning into a game.
Well, they said play, Sarah.
Okay.
They said like seemed like gentle. That was the word they used. Fun.
But do they eat it afterwards?
No.
Oh, well, you said play with their food.
Well, that was what the headline said.
Well, when you say play with their food, I assume that the things they're playing with are going to get eaten.
It's sort of like how we eat chicken, but sometimes we see them in the wild and we play with them and we think they're cute and like chase them maybe.
That's totally true.
It's like that. Those are our food, but like we're playing with them.
But we play with them. Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Okay.
Or something where like that normally is what they're eating, but in that day they were like, oh my gosh, whatever, and being like real cute about it.
Well, it makes me feel like, when is the switch? I guess like we do it as animals when all of a sudden we're hungry.
We do it all the time.
God, we do the same
like
exact
pigs,
thing.
Cows,
we're going to play.
chickens.
They are so cute while they're alive, and then we're like, well, no,
medium rare.
Okay,
right.
Yeah. What do they like to play with? The fish? What do they eat?
This was Arctic char.
Arctic char. That sounds like something you get at a fancy restaurant. So they have high quality taste. Those guys.
And they were trying to theorize, okay, is this just like truly for fun, leisure, or is it like they thought maybe they're showing their children how they do it without doing it in that moment? But like for me, it was like, okay, that's real cute and everything, but I didn't know why the scientists were like psyched out of their minds about it.
Yeah, I want to.
It was like everywhere, New York Times, The Atlantic, whatever.
Because this seems like the way. This is funny because when I told you about how gorillas sing before they eat,
same.
I'm having the same response now that you had, and you're like, okay, what? Okay. All right, what? And this, I'm like, as I read the article, I was like, Suze, the scientists are stoked. I don't know what to tell you. The monkeys they're real happy that monkeys are singing, and this is like a big thing in the science community, so get excited about it.
Maybe they're sad, and they just need something to be hyped about, scientists.
Or maybe if we take because I would imagine as scientists, they like to think, how does this reflect on our world, or what can we gain from this knowledge as humans? And I love a study that reinforces the importance of play. Mm-hmm. It says it is part of the natural Order, yes. And we need it for so many things. And in order to thrive, we have to do it because it feels like, I don't know, they're taking play out of school, out of, it's like no more PE, no more art, no more music, no more this. It's like I think what we need in order to learn is like the animals show us is more play.
Yeah. I mean...
And maybe don't take life so seriously. Like chase a chicken every now and then.
Yeah, just chase them. It's all right.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I was like, okay. There's this, like, Jerry Seinfeld bit where he talks about how when, like, pilots get on the intercom and are like, okay, I'm going to go down, I'm going to go south toward the Carolinas, and then I'm going to make a right at whatever. And he's always like, yeah, fine. Do whatever the hell it is you got to do. Just get me to where it says on the ticket. It's like that with the scientists sometimes. I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah.
For the narwhals.
Right.
Why do we care? But I guess, like, they were emphasizing how hard it is to study these guys.
Yeah.
How, like, the conditions are always that, like, they barely get a glimpse into their behaviors, so...
And I'm sure it's like 5 people, like that study. Like we think of it as like this whole huge team. It's probably like 5 nerds.
Yeah,
like around from in the whole world. So let them love the narwhals and let them
PR team as those wolves
do the thing. I think about that about like archaeologists, and I totally get it. But like when we discover like more dinosaur bones, I'm like, yeah. We know. There were dinosaurs.
Yeah, okay. Like, it's another one.
Let's focus on... I mean, I get it. Like, it's important. But
how's cancer coming along, everybody?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I'm always looking for that.
Like...
that story.
Can I get a cure for endometriosis over here?
Well, for real, kind of.
Let's start with that, But meanwhile, you got these guys racing their fucking sperm. So, I don't know.
All right. Well, congrats all the money. To the narwhal community.
Yeah. They are cute.
I know you didn't want to hear about the Twister documentary, but I don't care.
I do want to hear about the Twister documentary.
Maybe you're in a different place today than you were last time.
Oh, I didn't want to hear about it before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's on Netflix, I think, and it was called Twister.
Yeah.
So the Twister doc was about this humongous twister that happened, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, whatevs.
Did you live in a place with tornadoes?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I should say yes. Like, we're constantly, Lincoln's always like, we got another tornado warning.
Okay.
But
you've never seen one?
Well, I mean, technically, yes, but not like the big guys, like the proper ones you're imagining.
Right. They seem very scary to me.
There's a real scale.
Yeah.
And so actually what I'm describing in our sort of attitude about it is what this documentary was focused on, was because this was in Missouri, and they're actually in Tornado Alley. They get tornadoes all the time. That's just how it is. It's constant. It's just like tornado and the things, the siren goes off, and they're just like, yeah, it's another tornado. They're used to it. And then it's like they really need a different system. It feels like.
Yeah, they need a
like it shouldn't just be tornado or not tornado.
Right.
Because that's what we're dealing with here. Every time I'm like, it said tornado warning, and Lincoln's like, it always says that.
Tornado or not tornado, right. Yeah, we need to know if this is like a light rain or if this is a fucking hurricane.
Yeah, or like, is this Wizard of Oz shit?
Right.
Like, I'm going to be sucked up in it, a cyclone? Or is this just sort of like a real bad storm?
Yeah.
So that's what happened. They were getting all the signs, they were getting all the warnings, but nobody gave a shit. Right. So like people were out at the frozen yogurt shop.
The sky is falling. Or like, no, what is it? Not that.
That's it.
Is it that?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, this is a tornado, and they're like, yeah, okay, I'm going to go get some frozen yogurt. So then, all of a sudden, literally all of a sudden, everyone's like, ruh-roh, And they're just out wherever, at the frozen yogurt shop or like driving on the road or wherever. And now what?
Right.
And
the big bad wolf. That's what it's like. You know, like you didn't see, or Jack. What is the Peter and the Wolf. Peter and the Wolf. You know, where he says, there's wolf, and then there's never a wolf, and then one time there is a wolf, and then nobody is safe, and then the wolf eats everybody. Wolf. The boy who cried wolf. Jesus Christ. What? I can't remember a single nursery rhyme.
No. I think you're... Okay,
I was like having a
it's not... The problem isn't that, though. It's that those other ones were wolves, but they just were smaller ones, and those people think this is going to be like that.
Got it.
They need a system where it's like red alert, like this isn't your grandma's Twister.
Right.
Okay, so then they're all out, and then it's just like harrowing because it's all this footage of like the shit hitting the fan, and like,
oh God,
human beings were getting sucked up into it.
That's my nightmare. That is so scary.
Out of
they seem
like
so
car
unpredictable.
sunroofs.
Oh my God.
And stuff like that. Like you're in your car and then you're sucked out the windows and stuff.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
That really
and
is
stuff
like the
like
movie
that.
Twister.
And then how like let's say you're in a store.
Yeah.
Well, and you think you're protected, you're inside, but then the glass all breaks and now you're outside.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
And the thing that's scary to me are the projectile object that
for sure
big, and everything is I remember once I was at the
like
beach putting a like a sun umbrella into the ground, and it was like one with the 4 posts, you know, like one of those awning things.
Oh yeah.
That thing got airborne.
Fuck. It's
and
like
I was like, if
you're gonna
that
be
comes
impaled
down on somebody, yep. I'm like, that's going right through them. And now you're with all the trash of all the buildings, that's terrifying. That's the scariest thing. And they find a golf club through a tree. You're like, how did that happen?
Yes.
Tornado.
And like, have you ever seen when one of those like bounce houses goes airborne? With people in it, little kids in it. Oh my God,
that's so scary.
Right. Do you remember Balloon Boy?
I sure do.
I mean, wow. That was peak. That day on Twitter was a real treat.
Right. That was viral in
what
the early
do you
days
remember
of
about
things
it?
Going viral. That everybody was convinced that there was this little boy that was in a balloon, but he wasn't actually in the balloon.
Right.
That's what I remember.
Like, this bozo was making some sort of stupid ass balloon, and then it lifted off accidentally, and he then couldn't find his kids. And so, like, in his mind, they're in this balloon, and then called 911. And then it was like a low-speed chase of this balloon, like on video. We're watching it like floating around. Like, are there kids in this balloon? Right. And then he was like, "Oh, psych! They were just like down in the basement hiding.
They were hiding."
That fool!
But it did take us on a wild adventure. Brought everybody together.
When somebody tweeted, I forget who it was, but they tweeted something to the effect of like, every day on Twitter there is a main character, and the goal is to never be that person.
Oh my God.
Because your life is sort of ruined because you, for one day, made some bad choices. Anyway, so this film is really good, and it makes you, I mean, anytime you see the power of sort of Mother Nature, wind, rain, fire, whatever.
Yep.
It's just, whoa. We are sort of placated into thinking like, we're the bosses around here, you know?
Right.
And then you see, oh, that storm is a-coming.
Right.
And what are you going to do about it?
I always live like this time of year, from now until October. I live with this little sense of anxiety about
the
hailstorms.
earthquake? Oh, hailstorms.
Because I don't want my car to get all dinged up.
Why
And
this time of year? Is this hail season?
Yeah. It like this shoulder season, summers in
Shoulder?
Yeah, like between, or mud season, like whatever. Like between when snow's melting and before it's like summertime in the mountains. They call it mud season. And but it's when we have a lot of rain and there's just a lot of storms, a lot of thunderstorms, and it brings in a lot of hail. And have I sent you that video the time where I tried to get my car?
Yeah.
And, you know, it was like in a river of hail.
Yeah.
Traumatized. So.
Well, and then one of the parts that was also like something sticks with you is how they, you know, were in this hell. And then all of a sudden it was like peace, right?
Yeah.
And the sky is now blue and you look up and you're like, oh, thank God. And then you realize you're in the eye. And you're about to have the other half.
Oh my God. And it could be really big.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No. I can't. I'll take the hail. No, that is too. No. Every time we don't have any of that here.
Sarah's glitching.
No earthquakes. I see that there's that audio on that comes around every winter of somebody where people like shoveling snow and they like no earthquakes, no alligators, no tornadoes, no earthquakes, no alligators, no tornadoes.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
It's pick your poison, really.
No
all right.
hurricanes.
Well, I'm just saying it was a good documentary.
Yeah.
Okay. Good news in the I guess we would call it the disability community, differently abled community. This is something that is called voice prosthesis.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more.
Okay, so we have the cochlear implants for folks who can't hear.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But this is for people who have lost the ability to communicate with their voice. And, you know, usually they get that keyboard scenario sometimes, like Stephen Hawking and all that. But they're developing this thing that can translate brain waves to voice tech. And they're calling it a voice prosthesis. They trained, they called it a deep learning neural network. And the person who's affected silently, obviously, attempts to say sentences.
Yeah.
And they have about 1,000 words that are in the vocabulary that they can choose from. And then the audio of their voice, like, is created to say the thing based on just brainwaves. They're just
I
thinking
saw a video of this.
Of them talking?
Of the woman, there was a woman who had a stroke. Like, I think I just saw like a short little, like 60-second doc kind of thing on this just this week. Of them looking at the brainwaves and being able to put that to words.
And then you heard her
That's amazing.
sentences?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is wild.
There's a little bit of a delay, but that makes sense because this is like new and it's processing and everything. But that is really exciting, especially for people who have, I think she had a stroke. So I'm like people who have aphasia where they're thinking it, but they can't connect it to making it into words. I wonder if it would work with that.
You know what's weird though is it said whatever the technology is does not tap into inner thoughts. Like those ones where you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, that means they exist in different places.
Yeah. Like, so where you're like thinking shitty things about somebody, like it won't come out on the speaker.
Well, that's fucking fascinating.
Totally.
That's the most.
Like, wait, what?
That is the
Say
most
more about
interesting.
that.
Tell me more about that. I mean, okay, like it's great, but
it's like you buried the lead.
What do you mean?
Where are those?
Where are
in my
those
heart?
Thoughts? And right, and then that kind of makes sense of like those different parts of self when we talk to ourselves in third person or first person.
Oh,
and
interesting. Yeah.
Oh, I want to know more about that. That's fascinating, Suze. I did not
we need
hear
to know
that.
more about that. That's the brain candy part of the story.
Yeah.
It did say that they have a 98% accuracy, which to me was pretty incredible.
That's better than I have if I'm like typing something on a keyboard.
Right. But of course, zero tone is translated. That's difficult. Maybe that's where AI will sort that out once that gets better.
Yeah, they can read like context and
like you get to know somebody's
and you
shitty
get to know somebody. Yeah.
Or whatever.
Or
because it would be very important
sense
for
of humor.
that's what I mean. Like my sarcasm.
Yeah, that's what we need that AI learning for. That is so fascinating.
That article that I read was in, let's see, Financial Times, believe it or not. But the title was The Race to Turn Brain Waves into Fluent Speech.
Wow.
That was the article. Okay.
See, now that I can see. Helpful, not racing sperm.
Yeah. Thank
Different.
you, scientists. All right, last thing. Let me see. This is a hard one. Gosh, there's so many things I want to talk to you about.
Oh, well, I love that.
Shoot.
Don't worry,
one thing I did watch, I forget what it's called, but it's on Max, and it's about basically the dark side of Hollywood. I think it's called Hollywood Demons or something like that.
Oh, I know. Yes, I know what
Did
you're
you
talking
watch
about.
that?
I know, but it keeps wanting me to watch that. And I think it had
it's garbage,
the dad
but
from
That's
Seventh
right.
Heaven.
That's the one I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
I watched all of them. Each episode is about a different Hollywood shenanigan, but okay. Hollywood Demons.
Seventh Heaven, when I see your smiling faces, looking back at me. Man, I watched every episode of that show.
Shut the
That
front
was during
door.
Sarah's religious phase, where I was going to church camp, and
Listen,
that's
Sarah,
like what was allowed that everybody was watching.
I don't want to get too Freudian here, but I would think maybe something about that was very familiar to you because of what we then learned about the dad on Seventh Heaven.
This makes sense because that does track with a lot of.
Were you into his character?
That I don't know. I can't
You were
remember.
like, no, I was into looking at Jessica Biel.
Okay, Hannah, she was cute.
I mean, she was so beautiful.
She was so cute.
Okay,
But yeah, there was probably something familiar about his, and maybe it was just like, oh, there's a dad who can keep me safe, but not really.
well, yeah, because let me just paint the picture.
Yeah.
So, Hollywood Demons. This episode is about that dad from Seventh Heaven.
Yeah.
The dad on Seventh Heaven was a pastor, like a sort of vague Protestant pastor, mainline scenario, like Presbyterian or something. But you know what? We're all imperfect, and they had to navigate some challenges and tough stuff. And so I never watched this show.
Like smoking pot and
oh my God, yes. Like somebody gave somebody else the finger.
or being in a gang, but it was like so not.
Yeah.
Like drinking and
right,
driving.
it was like the Sharks and the Jets West Side Story gang. Okay, so this actor, I don't even know what his name is, but the dad that played the dad, the man that played the dad on Seventh Heaven, turned out that guy was a real creeper.
Yeah.
And he was preying upon young gals.
Dude, that's fucked up.
Like super
I mean,
young.
for the obvious reasons, but also
Like-
with the role that he played, and it feels very Cosby Show.
Right. And then that makes it worse because then they seem so trustworthy. And
Right, that's what I'm saying.
yeah, then they can use it if they want. But what I just wanted to say about it is the whole thing's disturbing, of course. I mean, one of his victims or whatever was 10. Like, we're talking little bubbies. Okay.
What?
One of the things that was so disturbing was that after it was exposed, that he went on, I guess it was the Today Show or something, because he was being interviewed by Katie Couric and was like, yes, like one time in like 1979, I put her, and he was like describing it.
Because he doesn't even think he did anything wrong. That's what that is.
He was like he called her a young woman.
Yes.
She's 10.
Yep.
She's 10.
Oh my God. I know all about that language. Yep. My dad did the same fucking thing.
And sort of just like, yes, like, okay, like it was weird, but not that big of a deal. And like, I shouldn't have done that. And I was just thinking like, I cannot believe they put him on the air, that somebody told him what to say, that he was willing to do it instead of just going off into the sunset and like getting the hell out of here. Because he's not in jail or anything.
He is not?
Mm-mm. No. And guess what?
That's sickening.
He's currently with, I don't know if they're married or what, but she's just like a Seventh Heaven super fan.
Okay.
Who's like 30 years younger than him.
No. Oh, Jesus. Dude, check his fucking computer. I'm sorry,
Like,
but just
what?
like where there's smoke, there's fire.
We're not making a big enough deal about that.
No, we are not.
Like, he's admitted to it. He's not even denying it.
This is insane.
Insanity. And it is also, in the Cosby Show vein, it is the same in the sense that, of course, I don't think they play those shows anywhere anymore. And like... Yeah. So the whole cast is then loses their revenue and income from residuals because of this fool.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
There are so many victims when somebody does shit like that.
And that's what happened with the Cosbys. And that's why, like, I'm surprised all the Cosby cast, not all of them, most of them are they stand by him.
That's crazy.
Surprises me for a lot of reasons, but not the least of which is the fact that they have lost so much. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that series, I mean, this is a Drew Pinsky like classic. He's like the person. He's just like the guy on every episode who's just like narrating essentially these stories. One's about child stars. One's about Power Rangers, like the curse of the Power Rangers.
That was fucked up too.
I had no idea there was like 100 Power Rangers by the end of it. Like they had to like replace them so many times. Jesus. I don't know if it's 100, but it's dozens and dozens. Yeah. And then there was like an episode where they had them all.
Oh my God. Okay,
they all came back.
Well, I'll skip the Seventh Heaven one, but I'll watch the other ones.
Yeah, watch it. I mean, it is, of course, it's, disturbing and fascinating, but anyway. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, on that note,
I'll keep you guys posted on my allergic reactions and sacral dimples.
Yeah.
And, maybe we learned about writing a song and...
we learned about a lot of good documentaries I'm going to check out.
Yeah, be careful. If you see that a tornado is coming, don't assume it's going to be one of the old classics. Think, hey, this could be the big one.
This could be the big one. Assume, stay on the safe side.
It's a twister.
Yeah.
Don't forget to check out patreon.com/braincandy if you happen to love reality TV. And leave us a 5-star review, okay? We love you.
Bye.
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.